segregation now, segregation tomorrow, and segregation forever.
And you have to concoct an answer for a 5-year-old son who is asking, Daddy, why do white people treat colored people so mean?
Welcome to Birmingham, Alabama. Question: what would you do if your future was limited due to the color of your skin? My name is Kai, and today we're learning how students just like you changed the world. We're talking about Birmingham's own 1963 Children's Crusade. In the early 1960s, the civil rights movement was growing as Black Americans fought for equal rights. But by 1963, progress had slowed down. Movement leaders knew they needed a new plan. Let's check our notebooks to learn more about Birmingham in 1963. Imagine living in a world where you couldn't sit where you wanted on a bus, or at your favorite restaurant, or freely explore your favorite park, or even go to school with your friends just because of the color of your skin. This was life for many Black Americans in the 1950s and 60s. Black Americans faced segregation, or being kept separate from others, in daily life. Unfair laws wouldn't let them have the same freedoms as white Americans. They had to go to different schools, use different bathrooms and water fountains, and often these facilities were not in good condition. One of the worst places for this unfair treatment was in Birmingham, Alabama. In 1957, a brave pastor named Fred Shuttlesworth decided to challenge those segregation laws. He decided to try to enroll his daughters in Phillips High School, a white-only school in Birmingham. A violent mob waited for him and attacked him because they didn't want his Black daughters there. But he didn't give up. He believed every child deserved a good education. Fred Shuttlesworth wasn't alone. Rosa Parks, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and James Bevel led peaceful protests to help change these laws in Alabama. This would be the start of the Civil Rights Movement, an organized and strategic fight or movement to make sure all Americans were treated equally. But in Birmingham, change was slow. By 1963, the Civil Rights Movement had lost most of its momentum.
In Birmingham, students at schools like Parker High, Carver High, and even Phillips High School right behind me began to wonder what they could do to make a difference. Then, civil rights leaders had a bold idea. What if the kids marched?
This was a risky idea. Students might be hurt or even arrested. Some kids were scared. Others were excited to take action. No matter how they felt, they were all united by one goal: equal rights.
To prepare for the march, students trained in churches, classrooms, and basements. Leaders like James Bevel and Fred Shuttlesworth taught students to stay calm even if they were arrested or attacked. On the day of the march, students planned to meet right here at 16th Baptist Church.
Then they would march out, 2 by 2, onto the streets of Birmingham, peacefully, bravely, and with the shared goal of equality.